The first thing you're gonna do when you get your windshield from SuperATV is get the upper as well as the lower portion of the windshield out of the box. We're gonna lay it up against the cage of the machine to confirm the fitment. So on the upper portion, you're gonna make sure that this bend right here is facing towards the cage of the machine. And it should sit up there just like this. Looks like it's gonna fit pretty good here. The lower portion is gonna orient just like this with the flat facing down and then the two bends facing towards the cage of the machine. And it's gonna sit right down here on top of the bed and kind of lip down in there. Looks like it's gonna fit good as well. So now we're gonna remove the protective film from both windshields, head over to the bench, and we're gonna install our brackets. We're gonna lay the windshields just like this to where the bends will go together whenever you lift it up. If you lift them up just like that, you see that they will go together and start to line up. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab our middle bracket, which will be angled just like this. And we're gonna grab our M6 by 20 millimeter hardware. We're just gonna go ahead and dump all our hardware out here and we'll just sort through it because there's gonna be some longer hardware. You're gonna wanna just sit these aside and then get the shorter ones, get all them put together. And we're gonna take a sealing washer, slide it onto each of the screws, just like this. As you can see, these are M6 screws, the other ones will be M8, so all the sealing washers will be bigger for them. So if they go on super easy on these, you have an M8 sealing washer instead of the M6. And you always want to make sure that the seal portion and the head of the screw are coming from the outside of the windshield facing in. So for example, this is going to be the inside. The bracket's going to be on the inside, but the hardware is going to come from the outside, so it'll go through just like this. Just kind of hold it in place. Get one of your M6 nylock nuts. Go ahead and get it started. And you want to be sure not to fully tighten anything yet, because you're going to have to adjust it, you know, slide it left to right, up and down, it just depends. You just want to make sure you have a real tight gap in between the windshields. Next, we're going to grab our left or driver's side bracket. The way you can know this is that the top portion of the windshield is going to have a bend, and the way that we have our windshield right now, when we go to install it, we're just going to pick it up like this and flip it right onto the machine. So if you're standing behind it, left bracket, and then you're going to see each of these brackets have an offset hole on them. You see this one's a little bit farther this way than this one. Well, that's so whenever you lay this bracket on here and you couple these two windshields together, it lines up perfectly. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Remember, we're going to make sure that our hardware is coming from the outside, coming in. So we're going to lay this bracket up here. Grab a nylock nut. Just go ahead and get all of our hardware started here. And like I said, you know, we are going to have to adjust this side to side. We may have to, you know, tweak it just a little bit to get everything to line up perfectly. That's why we're not going to fully tighten any of the hardware yet. So what we're going to do, we're going to head over to the opposite side, repeat the steps on putting the bracket on. It'll go on the exact same way, just for the opposite side. Then we're going to grab our top bracket. It's going to install just like this. The lip of the windshield goes to the lip of the bracket. Remember, seal portion and head of the screw, outside coming in. So we're just going to go through and get all this hardware started, get the other bracket on there, and then we'll be right back with you. So we went ahead and tightened all the hardware except for the top screw on the outside bracket. You may wonder why we left it in. We left it in just to make sure that our brackets and everything were fully centered. So now that everything's fully tightened, we're gonna go ahead and remove it. And we're gonna install it right here in the open holes on the top bracket. We'll do that for both sides. And we'll go through and double check to make sure our hardware is fully tightened, and then we're gonna get to installing the bulb seal. Whenever you go to install your bulb seal on the long flat portion here, which is gonna be the bottom of the windshield, you wanna make sure that it's facing away from the machine. So it'll install starting here, going all the way across, and stopping here. Then on this side, we're gonna start with a piece of bulb seal and run it all the way down to this point right here, then cut off the excess. And we wanna make sure that the 90-degree portion of the seal is facing towards the machine. So we're gonna go ahead and get to it. So we've got our bulb seals installed across the lower portion of the windshield and both sides. Whenever you're on the sides, you would start here, run it all the way up into this bend. Whenever we got to this bend, we had to make a little cut on the corner of the bulb seal, just so that way it'd fully seat into that corner. Now, we're ready to get this thing installed onto our Viking. We're gonna grab our provided clamps in the hardware kit. We're gonna install 2 of them to this portion of the cage, making sure that the flat portion of the clamp is facing towards the rear of the machine. And then we're gonna put one right here in between this piece and this piece of the frame. You just loop it in just like that. And then we got Ryan here helping us today. He's gonna help us get this windshield on. You can do it by yourself, but it's easier if you do have somebody to help you. We're gonna get it slid into position. And we're gonna line our holes up with our clamps. Then right here on the middle bolt, this is why we left that one screw out, because we're going to take our longer screw in the provided hardware kit, slide it through, then slide it through the clamp as well, then take our provided nylock nut, get it started. We don't want to tighten anything down just yet. Once you fully tighten all the hardware, that's all there is to it. That's how super easy it is to install SuperATV's rear windshield on this Yamaha Viking 6. For more information on this rear windshield or any of SuperATV's great products, feel free to give us a call at 855-743-3427 or check us out online at superatv.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.